believe in the Bible, believe, believe in God. Like this was the one lie that I thought that was just solid Bible, biblical. All right, man, welcome to the Daily Thinker. If this is your first time here at the Daily Thinker, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and join your boy. Help us get to 3,000 subs. We need your help, so help us get to 3,000 subs. But anyway, let's hop into this video by the Jewel 3 Project. She is on season 2 of Why I Don't Go. I did a reaction, I think sometime last year on season 1 of Why I Don't Go, and now we're on the season 2. So I'm looking at some of these videos from season 2. They're very, very interesting. And so, but enough of this talking, let's get into the video.
Well, for me, it was going to church always felt like a part of the routine. Every Sunday we going, even if I'm staying at my grandparents' house, a friend's house. I know someone tell me we're gonna go to church. And my idea of going to church is just meeting new people and learn about God and the Bible stories and things like that. And then as I got older, it became a moment of, I don't wanna go anymore. And I don't wanna have to say I'm sick to not go.
That happens often a lot. A lot of times when we start to get older, we tend to get older. We say, hey, you know what? I don't feel like going to church. I don't want to do all this church thing, because we were forced to go to church when we were young, and forcing someone to go to church doesn't make someone actually enjoy church or enjoy Christ. It can happen, and I've heard stories, seen stories like, hey, yeah, I was forced to go to church, and now I love Jesus. I'm glad that my parents pushed me that way. Sometimes it can work, sometimes it cannot work. So, but it's a slippery slope. I don't it's a dangerous slope to play on. Okay, it really is.
And again, it was more so because of the community. There were people there my age that I could relate to. You know, we do something maybe after church. It just felt good to go. But then when they weren't there, it's just like, why am I here? And then as I was growing, I noticed my beliefs changed. Like when I was younger in church, like in high school in church, like whatever they told me, it was bond. That's what we're going to do.
That is so true. As I got older, my beliefs start to change. Okay, for a fact. That is a fact. She is 100% true, right on about that. But just because our beliefs change doesn't mean they're right. Because I know my beliefs change about this, and I know a lot of y'all beliefs change about this. But this was my one belief, the one lie I believed as a Christian, as a believer, as a Bible believer, as somebody who was, believe in the Bible, believe in God. Like this was the one lie that I thought that was just solid Bible, biblical truth, is that Satan was the leader of a choir. that Satan was the leader of the choir, the leader of music, and that's nowhere in the Bible. I remember trying to find it in the Bible. I couldn't find it nowhere. I don't know. Maybe that came from some extra writings somewhere in the in the first century. I don't know where that idea came from. I really don't know. But I'm like, what? I can't find it nowhere. That changed. Like, okay, there's one thing I know for a fact that I said, hey, you know what? This not true. This ain't true, y'all. Y'all done lied to me about Satan being the leader of a choir, because he is nowhere in scripture where I see that.
That's what we're going to do, and that's how I'm going to believe it. But there was still something in the back of me that was like questioning that. I'd write people off because they weren't within the word. And I'll be honest, I didn't even know what the word was, but it's like, if that's what, God say, that's what God say. And that's how my parents kind of put it on.
Okay, I think we got this confused sometimes, like writing people off because they don't believe in God and things like that. It tells us not to fellowship with somebody who say that they are a believer but living in a different way than what the word says. Not just anybody that's not a believer. Like we don't treat believers and non-believers the same. As when I say the same, I'm not talking about like dignity and respect and loving for somebody, but I'm talking about like in a discipline form, because if you're a believer, the church judges the church. We don't judge those who are outside the church and things like that. And this gets into another conversation about judging. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to enjoy the video. Okay, I'm not trying to argue about should we judge or not. Let me press play.
Put it on me. If God say this, then that's what it is. But then as I'm listening to this man tell me what God say, it doesn't fit with what my beliefs were. So that kind of made me kind of like, I'm gonna start taking a foot out of the door, you know? Then when COVID hit, it's just like, we not really going. But right before COVID, we were also trying to find a church.
COVID just messed church up. I mean, and in sense for people like going to church, because like even myself, I'm still trying to find a church myself. I'm still trying to find a church to go to myself. Looking at some couple of churches right now, because my other church, I'm looking for some other churches right now. So COVID, it did mess some things up, but I'm thank God for the internet. Okay, I thank God for the internet, because you know what, it's a lot of great Bible sound biblical pastors to watch online, but it's not the same as going in person. But it's not why this doesn't. Can we press play on the video? Okay, just press play. Let me go back to this. Let me press play.
And then I'll be honest, I didn't want to, because it was just like, it just seemed too much to do. It's like, just here for the weekend. Nah, I don't like this one, and nothing fit. So then when COVID hit, we weren't going. I tried the little, you watch them on YouTube. And then I caught a few episodes where they were repeats. And then it's just like, nah, I don't have to go. And then the same thing happened with the radio. I'd listen to the sermon. Then I said, it's a holiday. It's not playing anymore. So I fell off and kind of didn't really look back after that. More so trying to figure out where do I fit with God? Not so much Jesus, or if I were to look at other religions, I don't really care.
Okay, this was very interesting to me. She said, like, how do I feel with God? Not so much Jesus. And I believe this is like why a lot of us are, it's just, I guess it's why people say the Trinity matters. Like, to know who Jesus is, to know who God is, to know who Jesus is to know who God is. And to not know Jesus is to not know who God is. Like, we cannot separate the two at all. We need Jesus. We need God. Jesus is God. This is a whole different discussion about the Trinity and things like that. And I'm not trying to get into discussion about the Trinity. I know I keep on saying there's a lot of things I'm not trying to get into discussions about, but I will, later on in other videos, I will. I did a video about the Trinity a little bit up on China McClain reaction. You can check that out. But anyway, like, not so God, not so much Jesus. Like, Jesus is just this guy over there on the sideline. Like, hey, not so much Jesus. He's just Jesus. He's just somebody who, walked on water. I mean, he walked on water. I don't know nobody else that did that. No. I'm waiting to see if somebody else will, but nobody will. Yeah, I ain't nobody who calmed the seas, and even the seas obeyed him, but I don't know. I mean, let me press play.
I don't really care about the prophets. I want to learn more about God. And that was just mine.
Hey, I don't really care about the prophets. I want to learn more about God. Like, Jesus is more than just a prophet. And I know, and I'm so glad she's doing this, like letting them just sit and talk and letting them explain like why they left church. This is so good without no debate, dialogue going on. Just talk and let us know why you left church and things like that. Because I mean, it's another reason why people leaving church. I mean, some people, we really just been in church for so long, still don't know who God is, and like it's just getting to the same routine over and over. We're not really learning much. I guess I mean that's what I'm getting right now. Maybe I'm wrong though. I mean, I could be. I'm not that